Journalist Andy Ngo, he's best known for his run-ins with Antifa. He's the guy that got assaulted, sent to the hospital with a brain injury by Antifa a few months ago. Something that, by the way, Democrat candidates still have not condemned. That's a real attack on the press, on a journalist. Hasn't been condemned. Media didn't condemn it. Democrats didn't condemn it. Well, he is now suspended by Twitter for relaying an objective fact and relaying it in an objective and dispassionate way. He shared some verifiable statistical information, and for that he was banned. Now, it started with a tweet from Chelsea Clinton. Chelsea Clinton tweeted, "Since 2013, more than 150 trans people have been murdered in the U.S., the majority black transgender women. On TDOR 2019, I guess it's this is the Trans Day of Remembrance, they call it. We remember and honor the lives lost, hold their loved ones in our hearts, and must commit to doing all we can to end this epidemic of violence and hate." Now, Clinton is connecting this with hate, obviously insinuating, claiming that these are all or mostly hate crimes. Throwing in the black transgender woman detail, mentioning the race, also tries to turn it racial. So the idea is to make it seem like there are a bunch of racist transphobes out there murdering black, quote, trans women left and right. Now, Andy Ngo responded saying, and this is what got him banned, or at least suspended, "The U.S. is one of the safest countries for trans people. The murder rate of trans victims is actually lower than that for the cis population. Also, who is behind the murders? Mostly black men." That's it. That's what he said. Got suspended for that. Suspended for responding to an inaccurate claim with some verifiable empirical facts. So what Twitter is saying is, we support this false narrative, and if you try to debunk it, we're going to punish you. You're not allowed to debunk it. It doesn't matter if it's not true. This is what we're going with. But the fact remains. They could suspend you for saying it, but the fact is the fact. As I talked about a few weeks ago, sharing a piece from Chad Felix Green over at The Federalist, the anti-trans hate crime epidemic is a fiction. It is a myth. It's been made up. It's invented. It's not real. The vast majority of trans murder victims are not the victims of a hate crime. The vast majority of trans murders have nothing at all to do with bigotry or anything like that. They've mostly been the kinds of murders that you find in the non-trans population. Murdered in the same kinds of circumstances for the same reasons. It's sad, it's terrible, but it's not a hate crime. Also, a sizable number of murder victims among trans people are people who live a high-risk lifestyle. So prostitutes and that sort of thing. The murder rate among prostitutes generally, trans or not, is higher than the average population. But that's not because of anti-prostitute hate crimes. It's because you're living a high-risk lifestyle. You're living in a world where in a dangerous world, you're dealing with dangerous people, you're doing a dangerous thing. That's not victim blaming. That's not saying they deserve it, obviously, because nobody does. It's just pointing out that there's no connection here with racism and hatred. Well, I hope you enjoyed that clip from the Matt Walsh Show. If you did, go ahead and hit that subscribe button right down there so you can stay up to date on all of our future content.